What's up guys, and welcome to another episode of El Jardín Perdido. Today I want to show you guys some edibles you can grow in the summer. Alright guys, so it's late July going into August here in Houston, Texas, zone 9A, 9B, and yeah, it's getting pretty hot. Today it's let up a little bit, but in general, it's been from the 90s to the triple digits. I wanted to show you guys, I'm not going to show you the full scope. I did do a live video doing a quick tour, but I did want to touch base on some vegetables, some herbs, some greens that you guys can be growing throughout, hot summers wherever you're located. So yeah, while a lot of your tomatoes and stuff are probably looking pretty bad, I do have some cherry tomatoes that are popping up still and stuff. So, but yeah, some of those traditional edibles probably won't be growing in heat like this, but I do want to show you around real quick and show you what you can be growing. All right, so as we're going around, basil is one of the obvious ones here. Just make sure when it's going to flower, you pick those off. It'll encourage it to branch out more, but also you don't want things bolting because they'll go straight to seed and you won't get any more herbs. All right, so this one's pretty fun. It's the Turk's Cap hibiscus. But it does have some edible flowers here, just kind of a fun garnish that I've been using for salads and such, and it also puts off fruit. So while this probably, won't give you a full meal, it's still kind of fun. Another really good one is Malabar spinach. I did not plant this year. This self-seeded from last year. Eventually they'll put off some berries, and berries drop here and there, and they'll usually seed once things get a little warmer. But they're incredibly resilient with our weather here when it gets hot. A little different than traditional spinach, but it's a little thicker, but it's also really good raw and stuff. It's got a nice crunch to it. A little more hardy than spinach. Alright, and we also have some Okinawan spinach here that does really good with the heat. As far as herbs go, mints will do really good in heat like this. They'll probably die out in the winter, but most likely even come back. But yeah, I believe this is just spearmint. We actually have some going to seed here, which I should probably take care of, but yeah, I'll probably just let it self-seed and go crazy here. I'm kind of using it as living mulch. And while I'm here, moringa, this is one of my go-to greens, especially in the summers like this. We also have some flowers on there that are also edible, and eventually they'll put out seed pods that are edible. So everything about this tree is edible, even the roots, which I have not tried yet, but this is a great thing to keep around. They'll be hardy all through the summer, and they could die back in the winter or at least defoliate. But yeah, I like to harvest this. I also give it to my goats and chickens as fodder, so it's great. This is one of those volunteer tomatoes I was talking about. So something that gets a little overlooked is cactus, specifically prickly pear here is a great succulent, edible succulent. My old one froze to the ground. It was really prolific, but I replaced it with a spineless, so that should be tasty. All throughout this bed I have lots of okra going. Okra is just like pretty foolproof. Right next to that I have asparagus growing throughout the garden, and right now I'm letting a few spears come up to harvest, but really I'm letting it go to give the roots some vigor, so next year I can just harvest like crazy. This is the first year in the ground and it's doing awesome. All of this elephant ear looking foliage is actually taro. The roots are edible, so that's a nice staple crop that you could use. Alright, and so right here we have katuk, another nice green. It's actually pretty awesome. You can just take cuttings, literally plop them in the ground. As long as it's warm, they'll take off, and you can propagate them that way. It's a legume, has kind of a nutty flavor. It's pretty awesome. There you'll see I have Some more mints. This is really just for pest control. I had some fire ant problems. And throughout, I definitely have peppers all over the place. These are habaneros, doing awesome. Most any pepper is gonna do pretty well, even in this heat. Not that I'm going to harvest right now, but turmeric does really awesome in the heat here, as well as ginger. I thought I had some in this bed, but yeah, they kind of go hand in hand. So yeah, just some more peppers. And as you can see, some cherry tomatoes are just barely still hanging on here. Chaya is another green you guys can grow in the summer heat. It does really well with the heat. The leaves are edible, but they do need to be cooked for a little while before consuming. Similar to spinach. You can kind of see it vining out, but this is Seminole pumpkins. I'm trying to get it to vine out towards my back property here. It did well last year. It does well in full sun, and so I'm giving it plenty of room to sprawl out back there rather than in the crowded shaded food forest. All right guys, well, as you can see, there's plenty you could still be growing. I probably missed a few things. I probably didn't literally touch base on everything, but hopefully it was enough to give you guys a gist of what you could be growing right now. I kind of made this video because I'm in some Facebook groups and stuff, and I had people complaining that, you know, they thought their entire gardens were going because some of those more traditional crops, yeah, they don't do so well. Another one I forgot to touch base on while I was out there was eggplant. My eggplants are still doing really well. All right guys, well, feel free to put any comments down if you have anything additional you'd like to add to this list, as well as any questions you might have. Also, like I said, my previous video, I did a live garden tour. Although it's not the best quality, given that it was streaming, you guys can get a better gist for what I'm growing here. So if this video interests you, feel free to subscribe to keep up with what I have going on here. All right guys, well, that's gonna do it for today's video. As always, thanks for tuning in. Until next time.